Hi, this is Kevin Eastman, co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you're listening to me on another Geek Fried podcast. Why? Yeah!
Thank you very much.
Coming to some ears near you. In a world so like this one, you couldn't tell the difference. Geeks and fanatics engage in eternal war for the perfect film pitch. Judged by their peers, and against all odds they cry, pitch, please.
Hello, you lovely, lovely people, and welcome back to Pitch Please. Now, I'm saying this in a weird way because in real time, not since you've listened to it, but in real time, there have been literally months between the last episode that we did and this episode, due to various reasons, which you will already know about because of the filler episodes that came out before this season started that we didn't know about in season 1, in episode 1 of season 2. So it might seem a bit weird, but I will have probably explained that because I'm beautiful and handsome.
The magic of time.
My name's Mike Orvis. Yes, time travel. My name is Mike Orvis. I am the legendary beard at Geek Pride, fighter of the Nightman, champion of the sun, master of karate and friendship for everyone. With me are my two gallant companions and steadfast fillators. It's the errant daddy cool Ben Fee.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And the crack of the whip, Callum Tyndall.
Sorry, we're really just rolling past the fillators bit. We just...
Well, I mean, we were
just
going
letting
to
that
you
one
brought
slide.
this podcast to a screeching fucking halt.
I like how he couldn't say the word friends. You know, you could see he was fishing. He was trying to say, it's like, oh, it's not going to work. I can't say.
Blowjobs!
Doesn't work.
Like a minor panic attack. Make a dick joke. Make a dick jokes don't have real emotions. Just like my YouTube channel. Anyway, okay, so we for those of you that don't know, and again, why are you listening to season 2, episode 1 of a podcast? But cool, it's everyone's first comic book, said Stan Lee at some point, probably followed by Excelsior. Yeah, this is Pitch Please, a show in which two people pitch their film pitches. I've said pitch too many times. Where two people battle it off, just really get off. Where two people just get off on each other with their film pitches. Well, then the third host judges it. And I'm quite good at judging and aren't really fussed about today's film topic. So today, battling will be Callum and Ben, and I'll be sneering from the corner like a fucking imp. So today they're going to be pitching, as you know from the title already, so I don't know why I'm playing this out, Indiana Jones.
Really build the hype.
The fifth, is it the fifth film or is it a reboot?
Well,
or is it just an
choice.
Indiana Jones film?
I guess you'll have to wait and see.
Bang.
Okay, I'm going to pick the fifth film. No, I'm joking. I just changed the rule. Like, you guys have been sitting on these fucking pitches for like fucking 2 months, and I'm like, I think it'd be really good if we changed the main character.
Oh yeah, that'd be very good. I'm so glad I based everything on that.
And then what we do is we just replace when we get into the editing, you'll just be like, so it starts on a cold day in Moscow and another main character steps out of the bushes and he's wearing his fabled product and sidearm. Anyway, who wants to go first?
Any preference, Mr. Fee?
Jesus, don't fucking jump at me at once, lads. Like, form a queue.
I don't mind
We
going
can have
first.
some order.
Okay.
I don't mind going first. Mine is surprisingly very safe.
Erotic.
Oh, Mike.
This is why we can't get one done.
Mike's in quite a mood tonight.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I've just come off of the Geek Pro podcast, and in which I largely just tried to extol the virtues of cunnilingus, even though it's scientifically proven to possibly give you tongue cancer. I'm not lying about a single word that I've just said. That's literally what the conversation
What's
was.
his face? Wasn't it? The one who,
Bruce Dickinson.
no, the one who married Penelope Cruz.
No, it is Bruce Dickinson got tongue cancer because... I'm not doing this again! Fuck my life! I've just had this conversation. Bruce Dickinson got tongue cancer because of all the vagina that he was performing on with his tongue.
I thought you
Not
used
the way I would have
guitars.
phrased it, but sure.
She's like, take me, Bruce, and he just jumps on and goes, you take my life, but I'll take yours too! She's like, "No, that's not really what I meant, Bruce. I've just meant, like, eat me out a bit. Anyway, fuck my life. It's been 5 minutes. We haven't pitched. Ben's going to go first. So, you're surprisingly what? Sorry?
Surprisingly safe.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I know,
Ben
right?
Fee, that makes a safe pitch.
Good
Lord.
Ben
Stone the
safe
crows.
pitch fee.
Light the beacons. Fuck me. Right.
Probably I shouldn't be doing a safe pitch for Mike. I should be probably trying to
I'm
game
not-
it a bit.
Yeah, I'm not still bitter about the fucking Legends
The
of
entirety of season 1.
Yeah.
Every episode that you've appeared in so far.
the soul.
Even ones you
soul.
did well in.
Yeah. Right. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, go on in. Fucking safety dance. You got approximately 20 minutes to wow me.
Okay. By all means, jump in if you have got any good ideas or sort of think anything could be done.
I'm going to stop you there, Ben. And I'm joking. Carry on.
You son of a bitch. Okay. My Indiana Jones pitch. I'm not going to be changing anything up. There's going to be no Mutt Ravenwood. There's going to be no Short Round. It's going to be essentially a reboot in a very similar way to the way the James Bond films worked. When they just one actor was too old or couldn't be asked to do the role anymore, they got a new guy in, they freshened things up, they changed things around, they kept old characters like Q was still in it, but they changed the actor around, changed M around. That's exactly the kind of thing I'm looking at. I'm just going to be carrying on the Indiana Jones franchise on a James Bond kind of vibe. So this is going to be Hugh Jackman in Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
Ooh.
Based on the retro classic video game of the same name, and it pretty much involves Indiana Jones travelling the world, trying to outsmart Nazis and find the location of Atlantis.
It's not very PC in 2017, is it, mate? I mean, you've got to respect both sides of the view.
I think you're
Well,
like, they're
in this
called
film-
I'm joking.
Right.
Punch Nazis.
Nazis.
Well,
I'm going to make it clear that there are good people on both sides.
Fine people on both sides.
No, don't punch the fronds with the Pepe frogs. They've just got a different point of view.
Just make like a
Fuck.
really
If you are listening to
compassionate-
this and you are all right, just fuck yourself.
How
Like,
did you
straight
find
up.
yourself
I don't
here?
even fucking
It's
care.
more my question.
Yeah. How did you find? It's because we're three white dudes.
Oh,
And
shit.
They've gone, oh fucking hell. They're
Someone-
talking about Nazis. This can only be a good thing. Literally, throw yourself off a bridge. Fuck yourself. Or change your opinion. Sort your life out. But mostly, die.
So
Carry on.
they googled white guys podcast, and this is what they got.
This is pretty much
top hit.
I
white
can imagine people listening to this podcast and just being like, this is some white people shit. Hello. Yes, I'm Mike Orvis, and I think I'm important, and I've got two friends who think they're similarly important. And now we're going to talk about things that white people made for other white people to enjoy. Films. Yeah, it does feel pretty. It's pretty pasty in here. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's real reality check there. I just
Boom.
got a bit more woke. Well, I'm going to continue my story about
Woke level
a white
increased.
man. The classic story of a white man trashing through indigenous people's property to steal things from them. Otherwise known as Indiana Jones. fucking... It's going to be Indiana Jones. It's going to be another Indiana Jones film just made today. There's going to be no attempts at making it more modern, because Indiana Jones was never supposed to be a modern film. It's based on the old pulp movies and pulp comics and shorts of the 1920s and 30s, which just had a guy with rippling muscles swinging on vines and punching people out. Hopefully Nazis, hopefully not, other races. So
why even bring that as a possibility?
Well, in this one there was a small amount of other races getting smacked. That's just how it goes. The storyline for this is going to be based on the storyline of the computer game. It's pretty much going to be that, just writ large on the screen, with a lot less of the go here and find this, now go there and find that, because there's a lot of that in the game. So, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, starring Hugh Jackman. I fucking love Hugh Jackman.
As Wolverine.
He is the complete package, that man. I just, absolutely love him.
Okay, Ben.
So, a real, just
Do you
really
need a
great
minute?
guy. I've had a few minutes. I'm good.
Just stop and go. Oh, fuck me.
And I'm not going to go on about Hugh Jackman. I could just all night. He's a lovely guy, just a really nice. Anyway, the film starts off. It's the Indiana Jones music, and the first thing we see is an old carved, angry-looking face from a temple, the kind that you've seen in every Indiana Jones film. Every time
Don't call Harrison Ford that.
It's like one of these car faces we think, oh, he's in a temple somewhere. There's some reflected red light on it from somewhere. It's very temple-y. We pull out and we find actually we're in an attic full of these old artifacts and boxes and relics. And then Indiana Jones smashes through the window on his bullwhip, rolls along the floor, brushes himself down. Why is he here, we think? What's going on? Is he here to steal something? Why is he smashed through the window? What's going on? So he makes his way through the attic, going past different things. This is while the credits are sort of like rolling on the screen still, with all the people who are in it. And we see things that hark back to his previous adventures. We see maybe a diagram of the Ark of the Covenant. We see some text about the Holy Grail. We see a picture of... Kalima on the wall. And he goes through this building, and there's all kinds of strange things. It's old and decrepit, so he falls through the floorboards at one moment. There's a little bit of tension, a little bit of action. And eventually he finds this statue of a horned demon. Makes his way out downstairs, uses his whip to climb down over a balcony, past some broken stairs with a big sign on them saying closed for repairs. Walks out, and we see he's actually in his university. It's Barnet University. And outside, there is Marcus standing there, another gentleman. Marcus in this one is going to be played by Jim Broadbent, I think. I think he'd be a good Marcus.
Solid choice.
Oh, Indy. It's an obvious choice. Pretty much every choice I've made in this Twitch is obvious and safe.
Fuck off. Really?
Well, we'll see. Apart from the nude scene in the middle, the nude scene gets a little bit risque. I've got some... I'm just going to throw out the word pegging, but then we'll see how we go. So,
and Indy's hat is played by Danny DeVito.
Yes, animated. The voice of Danny DeVito.
It's like a weird Super Mario Odyssey thing where
kind of
Danny
like
DeVito's the hat is possessing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
With the cartoon in his head. Anyway, he leaves the building, and we see that he is. He was sent into that building. It's a museum, Carswell Hall, on the grounds of the university, to find this statue that was in the school archives. It was for this gentleman standing next to Marcus, and Mr. Smith, his name is. They go back to Indy's office, and he shows them the artifact, a strange horned thing with a little small recess in its stomach. Mr. Smith pulls out a little copper bead, it looks like. No, sorry, not a copper bead. He pulls out a little key, and opens the middle of the statue. Opens up, and inside the statue there's a little copper bead. He pulls it out, looks at it, then he pulls a gun, points it at Marcus and Indy, and tells him to get back. Indy, of course, what he should do is just, oh, fair enough, mate, take it and go, everything's fine. But no, Indy tries to stop him, grabs the gun, tries to spin it round. There's a fight, a tussle. We've got our first little action scene between them, running through the university. This guy's trying to escape with the statue and the bead. Indiana Jones is after him. He manages to escape in the end, the fellow. And Indiana Jones manages to get his coat before he escapes. And inside his coat is his ID. It's a German passport. This guy's name is Klaus Kerner, and he is a member of the fucking Nazi party.
His name is Nazi Bastard.
Klaus Kerner is the actual character's name in the computer game.
All right, mate.
So I'm gonna. His boss is called Hans Uberman.
Brilliant.
This is like classic 80s Nazi naming. It might as well be Nazi von Nazi. So yeah. Also in the coat that Jones pulls off him is a newspaper with a little article about a psychic in New York circled. Marcus jogs over out of breath. "Did you get him, Indy?" Indy said no. He shows the newspaper. And he says, no.
I like he did the voice. He did the voice for Jim Broadbent.
But not in
He's just like, no.
I could do.
No, mate.
I could. I'll do. Okay, I'll do that.
Fucking didn't.
Nah.
Nah, mate.
Couldn't catch him. No, it's too fast for me.
Oh yes.
Oh, snakes.
Australian indie.
Well, it's got to be snakes.
Fucking snakes, mate.
Fucking like Aussie man. Oh, Aussie man should be it. As Indiana Jones. Fucking snakes.
Oh, I'm running away from the boulder straight to destination. Fucked.
Oh, that is so much better.
Chongo's grabbed his heart and he's pulled it out of his chest and is now showing him his own heart. That's not going to be a fun time around Christmas. I think someone's just made it off of his Christmas card list.
So in the paper, Indiana Jones shows it to Marcus and says, "Look, mate, it's Sophia." And we see it's Sophia. Sophia is an old assistant of Indiana Jones's. Used to be an archaeologist with him, but now she's a psychic. She works as a psychic in New York City.
A sidekick.
A psychic.
Not a sidekick.
Who works as a sidekick? That's what? Sidekick for sale, right here. Who's the sidekick?
Oh my god, have we just written a comic?
Whoa.
Sidekick for hire, and he's like secretly brilliant, and all the heroes that hire him are fucking bumbling
Mike,
idiots.
we can barely
Shit.
get a podcast recorded. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, copyright pitch, please. That sounds fucking brilliant.
In 5 years, we'll
Ben,
write
can
that
you
and
draw?
we'll show all of you.
I cannot draw. We could do a radio show. Anyway, this is for this is later. This is later.
Sorry.
Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So they go to New York City. They find a theatre where Sophia is doing her psychic show, her psychic performance. It's called Mysteries of Atlantis. It's sold out at the front. It's already started. He has a bit of a tussle with the bouncer outside. Decides to walk around the back and get in the back exit instead. He goes onto the side of the stage and sees Sophia there on the stage, and she's talking about Atlantis. It's a lot of mythological stuff. There's some spiritual garbage in there as well about souls and speaking through time. She gets to the meat of her performance. She says she's got this necklace, and if she puts this bead into the necklace, she can channel the spirit of an ancient Atlantean sorcerer called Nur-Absal. And she does it. She puts the little bead into the necklace and she closes her eyes and speaks in a deeper voice and tells people that their father's looking over them, or secrets that no one could possibly know. Indy's a bit sceptical, talking to one of these backstage guys. You don't really buy this, do you, mate? And And then in doing so, he nudges one of the levers on the stage, and sandbags just fall down, smashing through the set, sending her chair flying, bringing the entire thing down. They have to cancel the show early. When she storms off stage, sees Indy there and goes, "Indiana Jones!" Like, in the way that every woman does in an Indiana Jones film. This lady is played by Amy Adams. Because I googled actresses in their 40s, and she came up.
I half expected you to have just stopped at actresses.
I googled actresses, and she is one. No, I wanted him to have a comparable age with his love interest in this film. The number of times that, like, watching a film, I'll just Google the main actors, their age, and the love interest age. It's like, there's 20 years between those two. It's like, but there's about 6 years between Amy Adams and Hugh Jackman. He's 49, she's about 43 or something. So
I'm glad
sure
you
you're all aware
approve of their hypothetical fictional relationship.
I'm sure it means a lot to them that I am on board with that. I have no qualms with them getting together, if they so choose. She's upset with him. She's angry. He follows her back to her apartment, because that's what you do in the 30s with ladies. And they find that it's been trashed. It's been absolutely ransacked. Looks as though that someone's been here in search of Atlantean artifacts. She's a bit worried. She's a bit scared. He says, I think they're after these things from Atlantis, things from the dig that we went on 10 years ago. It was the Jastro expedition in Iceland with Dr. Bjorn Heimdall. Dr. Bjorn Heimdall. What a fucking stupid name. Anyway, she puts the little bead into her necklace. Said, I'll talk to the spirits. I'll see if they can help. And he's like, yeah, whatevers. Does that, and she goes into a trance and says, we need to find a book called the Hermocrates. It's the lost dialogue of Plato, in which he details where it is. He says, okay, I've heard of that. Fair enough. Let's go and talk to Bjorn Heimdall. He was the one who oversaw the dig. He might have more information about Atlantean myth and Atlantean artifacts and that kind of thing, or so-called Atlantean artifacts. So they travel over to Iceland. We've got a beautiful view of the Icelandic tundra. We meet this man, Bjorn Heimdall, and he tells them that there was a scholar who translated the Hermocrates from the Greek version into English. Excuse me. A fellow by the name of Charles Steinhardt, who is currently working in a dig in Tiki. So they get on a plane, they head off to Tiki. In the cutscene, we're going to see a bit more about the Nazis. We see this guy, Klaus Kerner, and he brings the statue with the little bead inside to a mad German Nazi scientist. Like, just awesome machinery in a castle in Bavaria. The classic, like, Dr. Frankenstein stuff going on, lightning going between two Tesla balls and weird machines. And he takes he gives us a lot of backstory. He tells us this is orichalcum, a legendary metal. It can be used to multiply the explosive effect of a bomb 1,000,000-fold. If they get to Atlantis, they'll find a lot more of this orichalcum, and they can use it to win the war. Let me just tell you where it's set. This is set in 1939. So it's set after, I think after all the indie films. What year is Crusade set? 38?
I'm not sure.
It don't matter. This is set in 39.
Crystal Skull is definitely later than that.
Oh, I don't... Crystal Skull is kind of like Highlander 2. You don't acknowledge it exists.
Hang on, I'm having a Google.
Crusade is 38.
Boom.
Crusade is 38, guys.
Thanks for the backup there, mate.
It's alright, mate.
I'm pretty sure I said that first.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I didn't Google it. I was just waiting for someone to say it.
Oh, bless you. So you had literally no reason to say.
You ever done it in a meeting at work? Someone's like, so what's the solution to this problem? And then someone will be like, oh yeah, I think we've got to just run an Excel. Yeah, run an Excel. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That.
I like to wait for a woman to say something, and I'll say the same thing she said but louder. Everyone thinks I'm a brilliant genius. It's fantastic.
Oh dear! All of this.
Oh dear! That's going to be a mark against you, I'm afraid, Mr. Fee.
Thank God you're already married, right?
Not for long. When she gets a whiff of this podcast, although he doesn't let her know that podcast exists.
This is true.
She doesn't know what he's doing right now. She don't know where the fuck he is. He's in the shed.
She doesn't know what the internet is.
She thinks that she thinks he's making a hot rod. He's had to arrange some old boxes from some Amazon orders of the crib that he bought from all the babies he keeps making, and he's had to arrange it into the shape of a fucking Ford Mustang.
I've actually
it's under a sheet.
There's actually a wax head in my bed at the moment of my head. She thinks I'm asleep.
with a tape player making slight snoring noises. Yes. She's like, it was really weird, honey, because you were snoring and then you made this noise. It was like,
please turn to side 2
again. Please turn the page.
It just goes on to like hard metal music halfway through.
You really started snoring.
Anyway, I'm going to speed up the middle of this film.
Yeah, you better hurry up. We're on 25 minutes.
You motherfuckers are just slowing me down here.
How dare you?
So I don't know. I'm like in the first act and shit. Okay, so essentially, what we have next is going to be a world crossing tour. They go to see this guy in.
Is there a map?
There is a map, and you've got a little plane going over. There's a little dots,
with the theme tune.
With the theme tune going on, it's fantastic. We get a real feel of a race against time, Indiana Jones versus the Nazis to try and find Atlantis. That's the real kind of theme and kind of feel I want to get from this. So they go to Tikal in Guatemala, where they find this guy.
Punch the Nazis, steal some stuff, crack your whip and throw your hat around. It's possessed now with Danny DeVito. Punch the Nazis, and also it's Danny DeVito. Like, they had to put lyrics to it because Danny DeVito, like, he asked for quite a lot of money, and he's got a sponsorship deal.
I'd like to have the whip animated as well and voiced by Billy Eichner. That'd be really good.
Excellent. Sorry, carry on.
So they go to Tikal, Guatemala. They find this guy who translated it all. He tells them it's in the Ashkenazi collection. And Indiana Jones is like, oh, man. And Sophia's like, what is it, Indy? And he's like, oh, g'day, mate. It's in the fucking university where I teach. That's where it is. I just come from there. Fuck's sake. So he gets back in his plane, back to the university where they find this book. And they dig it out. They open it up. And they got a map and shit, and they were looking for all these papers of this translation, and they go, okay, here it is here. It's 3,000 miles away from Greece, from Crete, where, what's the guy's name? The guy who wrote it, Plato, where Plato wrote it. It's 3,000 miles away from there. And Indy's like, whoa, wait a minute. The Egyptian text there and the Greek text, there's been a mistranslation. They've done a tenfold error here. It's not 3,000 miles, it's 300 miles. Well, that will come back later in the finale. So, the book also says they need something called a sunstone to be able to access Atlantis, and
that's how you evolve your EV, I believe, into something different.
The sunstone. Let me think. I think you have to use it on a Charizard.
Why?
To help them evolve. Sunstone.
Charizards don't evolve. You could give a Megastone to a Charizard and it would evolve into a Mega Charizard.
Mega Charizard. Charmeleon. Yeah, Charmeleon might evolve. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. There's no Charmeleons in this. Oh, man, although that would be an amazing Indiana Jones film. Indiana Jones finds, like, Johto or something. It's like, what the fuck's this, mate? Indiana Jones is just now Australian, just as canon. Okay, so yeah, they go to where are they going to next? in my crazy fucking world trip. Sophia goes, "Oh shit, the Sunstone! I know a guy who's working trying to find the Sunstone, who had heard all about it, was looking into it. A guy over in Algiers. What's his name?
That's not a real place. Grow up.
Omar Al-Jabbar over in Tangiers. So they go to Tangiers, and this guy, he's working on a dig. And they get to the dig and they find that Nazis have taken over. And Al-Jabbar is going to get killed by these Nazis. So they rescue Al-Jabbar. And he tells them, "We found the Sunstone. We found a tomb down there, but the Nazis have taken over." So they got really sneaky. They got to sneak in. They dress up as workers, just the same way they did in Crusade, which is quite cool. A little throwback there. They sneak in to the crypt and they find the Sunstone, and they find a mural on the wall of the island of Crete, and it shows on the island of Crete where some particular places. They get out. Oh no, the Nazis have found them. That wasn't as tense as I hoped it would be. The Nazis find them, because of course they do. There's a big fight with the Nazis. They get to a hot air balloon.
Go already!
Just fucking go, Sheila. Get out of here. And she's like, "I'm not going without." She's like, "Fuck it, I told you to go, love." She cuts the thing.
And he throws a boomerang that cuts the rope. And he catches it again and then fights Nazis with it.
There's a Nazi crocodile, and he wrestles the Nazi crocodile to the ground.
Just the crocodile with the little arm.
I'm a little Hitler moustache. It's a little Hitler moustache under his little nose. And he's trying to do the little salute, but he's got his arms out of the motion. So the balloon goes off over a crevasse. Indy gets into a car, drives the car towards the crevasse up a little ramp. It goes over the edge. He jumps out and grabs the basket as it's flying away.
Fuck off! That's mental.
That's what he does. I know,
I like it.
He's been chased by other guys, so
Better than
they
getting in
as
a
well.
fridge. Let me tell you that for free.
Jesus, the fridge with the little prairie dogs or whatever they were. What the fuck? Animated prairie dogs. Why, George Lucas? You fucking bastard. Anyway, hot air balloon to Crete from Algiers. It's doable. I've done it. I can prove it. Don't ask me to prove it. They go to Crete. They find the place marked on the map. It's a ruin. They use the sunstone. They put it in. The sunstone uses the sun.
Put it in where?
In a fucking, I don't know.
Put it in the ruin.
Put it in the ruins.
Just somewhere. Look for a crack in the ruin.
Nazi
Just put that in.
Just chuck
You
it
know,
in the ruin.
like how keys work. You just put them near a door. It's fine.
You have found that's a crocodile, but this you've got. Okay, they find a pedestal. In the pedestal's a little indentation, just the same size as the sunstone. They put it in. The sun goes on it and glints. It shoots off a rocky cliff on the other side of the bay, and that's where the fucking Atlantis entrance is. Cool. They get in a boat. They go over. They think, "Oh, this is pretty good." You know, no Nazis around. We're doing pretty well. Indiana Jones dives to the bottom in a diving suit, but oh shit, Sophia on top. A Nazi U-boat. A Nazi U-boat comes along, grabs Sophia, takes her. Oh no, Sophia's gone.
How does a Nazi U-boat have arms?
You've been such a knobhead. Fucking robot arms. Robot arms on a U-boat.
Alright, you've won.
Okay, I'll quickly finish off for you. So Indiana Jones is trapped at the bottom. He can't get up again because her job was to sort of crank him up again and crank him off and pull him up again once 3 minutes was up. So he's down there, 3 minutes of air. He can't get up again. So he starts panicking, looks around, tries to get to a little cave where he can see like a bit of one of these undersea pockets of air. You can see it in this cave, but he can't quite reach it. It's just to cut off his air supply. It's to actually chop through the rubber hose and unhook his little chain, keep him to the boat, and he has to get through. So he has to climb through into the cave while water's filling up into his suit. He just makes it into the air pocket before he drowns. In there, he's found Atlantis. It's here.
Oh shit.
This is where Atlantis is. You can see across the city. The U-boats found it as well. It's what's the word? Come up out of the water in a little bay, and you can see they've got Sophia as well. Yeah. He goes across. He fights some Nazis who are standing around. He finds Sophia. Sophia is possessed. she starts to float off the ground.
What?
Now she's closer to the middle of Atlantis. This spirit that he thought she was joking about, and she was saying was possessing her, what's her name? Nurab Sal. Turns out he's real. He was a former king of Atlantis, and he has drawn her back here to reclaim his kingdom. He's there talking to Indy like, once I have reclaimed my kingdom, I shall free the world of the Nazis. Unfortunately, this host will be destroyed. So it's like, I don't like Nazis, but I also quite like the host. So he goes with this Nurab Sal possessed Sophia to his throne room, where he tricks her into taking the necklace off. Grabs the necklace, throws against the wall, it shatters, freeing Sophia of the curse, of the possession. Once free, they make their way to the middle of the city where the Nazis already are. They found a machine called the Colossus, where you put these orichalcum balls into it, and it can turn you into a god. The Atlanteans were using it to turn themselves into gods so they could control the waters and keep the waters down from flooding Atlantis. So Atlantis was flooded when they lost control of this power. But they don't know how. Plato's book said to put 10 of these orichalcum balls into the machine for it to work. But Indiana Jones reminds of the tenfold error. Indiana Jones gets captured by them as they walk in. There you go. He's captured. He's in their control, and they're like, "We're going to put you in the machine, Jones." But Klaus Kerner's like, "No, I should be the one to get the honor," and runs into it. Puts one in. Because Indiana Jones says, "Hey, what about this fucking tenfold error? You got to be careful. You can't put 10 in. It got to be a multiple of 10." So he puts one in, and he gets turned into some horned being, some like big demon that starts smashing shit up. Then actually shoot him. He dies and falls into a pit of lava. Lava starts to form around them. It turns out that they're inside an active volcano as well.
Bollocks.
This will all be added in post.
What a day.
I know, right? It's fucking mental. So this volcano is starting to churn up. Now the machine's been activated. It's activated the volcano. So the other guy, Hans Uberman, the mad scientist, goes, in that case, I shall use 100 of these. In you go, Jones. And Jones is like, okay, put me in the machine, but if you do, I'll turn into a god and I'll fucking kill you. And he's like, ooh, good point, Mr. Jones. Maybe I won't put you in the machine, because I'll turn you into a god and you'll kill me. I'm going to go to the machine myself. He goes in the machine, puts 100 in, turns into like a spectral green being of like pure omnipower. Omnipotence is probably a better word to use. I can feel the power! Like kind of Jafar at the end of Aladdin. There's like infinite power! But it's not stable at all. The machine's old, it's broken, it's run down. There's some problem, and it starts to shake and dissipate, and the spirit just explodes. As it explodes, the whole place starts to rumble. Lava flies up, just engulfing Nazis left, right, and centre. Indiana Jones grabs Sophia. They run to the U-boat, get inside, submerge, as the entirety of Atlantis starts to sink under this lava and the volcano starts to erupt. They get out of there just as the caves explode full of bubbles and lava pours out. And they surface, seeing this volcano spewing out lava at the top, surrounded by beautiful Greek, the Aegean Sea, Greek scenery. I call them Crete's not in the Aegean, is it? Crete's in the Mediterranean Sea. Beautiful landscape, and this beauty of this volcano, this savage beauty of a volcano. And they sit there and they kiss, and the music plays, and he says some quip about oh well, we didn't get any evidence from Atlantis, but we saved you and we stopped the Nazis getting there. Something a bit more quippy than that. That's a little bit long.
That wasn't a quip.
That was just like explanation of how exactly I'm feeling right now.
Summed up the plot.
I have never claimed to be good at dialogue. All my characters say exactly what they're feeling.
All my characters just provide
mad.
exposition on things the viewer can see.
I'm so glad we survived the Nazi plot to find Atlantis, but unfortunately, as you can see, Atlantis has been destroyed by a volcano.
Sheila?
Fancy a rim? And that's
It's a shame, because most of this stuff probably would have belonged in a museum of some sort.
Yeah. Maybe she pulls out her orichalcum. I still have this. And she goes, that belongs in a museum. And then they kiss
That
each other.
belongs in your ass.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you probably will, yeah.
Belongs. Anyway.
Right.
Anyway,
Brilliant.
yeah. Indiana Jones music, blah, 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 dun, dun, dun. Done. Bang.
Post-credit sequence.
As the immortal Warren G said, this is how we do it. Okay.
Okay, good.
And you want a post-credit sequence? Fucking post-credit sequence is not
Short round.
Ravenwood. Not Ravenwood and Short Round just going at each other. Just full penetrative, just for the entirety of the credits. Exits are locked. Just like, and they stare at the camera the entire time, both of them. Crying. They're crying. Staring at the camera. and then it cuts to the Nazi crocodile who says, again.
Hanging out with the Danny DeVito hat.
Wearing the Danny
We
DeVito.
formed an unlikely friendship. I've never done a Danny DeVito impression before, and I'm quite impressed with myself. Right, Callum, it's we're 40 minutes in.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Jesus.
No, it's totally my fault. I'm far too. I don't know.
I don't know
just
how
wanna
to
do
fully
bits.
not follow Nazi crocodiles and. Oh my god! Atlantis has gone into a volcano. This is a bad thing.
Oh no, they're eating her, and now they're gonna eat me. Oh my god!
The dinosaurs have escaped from Jurassic Park.
I guess we were Jurassic Park all along.
What are we? Some kind of Ghostbusters 2?
Oh, that's my pitch. No, okay.
Go on then. Just say everything but with dogs, and then you win.
So it's one bit. No. So I don't think Indiana Jones should be rebooted because I
Cool.
think the series. Well, honestly, I don't, yeah, it shouldn't keep going on. So, in order to make Indiana Jones keep going on, Indiana Jones has to change in and of itself.
Ragnarok.
So we open. It's a kind of reenactment of the whole, getting chased by the boulder thing. Indy's in some sort of abandoned old building, goes for something, traps start going off, he starts running, but it's still Harrison Ford, so he's old as fuck. He's struggling, he's running, and he's like clearly out of breath, struggling to keep ahead of these traps. And he ultimately, as he's running, doesn't react in time to the fact that a sort of trapdoor opens in front of him.
Fuck.
And he falls. As he's falling, however, a hand reaches out.
Just mumbling the whole time.
Fuck!
Oh, looks like I'm falling down this trap.
How will those crazy Duke brothers get out of it next time? As he's falling, doing Harrison Ford sort of shock noises, a hand reaches out and grabs him by the wrist.
No,
And we hear-
a paw reaches out and grabs him by the wrist.
Indiana Bones.
And they...
Yes!
Fuck you, it's not the dog reboot. No, instead, we hear a very plummy female English voice say, Dr. Jones, I presume, I'm a bit of a fan. And he's pulled up by a,
Someone from Tumblr.
young woman, and she go, and he's like, thanks, and then I can't do a Harrison Ford.
So I'll do that bit. Say,
Yeah, do a Harrison Ford impression. We're going like, so who are you anyway?
It was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
You really, really saved me right there. I was falling, and then you grabbed my hand.
There you go.
God, I don't know how we get through this otherwise. So we insert Harrison Ford mumbling.
I just did
Yeah,
it.
no, that's
I
what I'm
just fucking did it.
saying. I'm
Alright.
saying they insert what Mike just did into the film. Don't even have Harrison do
Alright,
it. Just
Just have
cut
me
and
doing
paste
it.
that clip. And then she goes, no problem. No worries, bruh.
You're
Vape
fine.
Nation, right?
Good.
No, she, he thanks her for saving him, and says something about, does something mumbly and grumpy, and is like, so who are you, little punk, anyway? And she introduces herself as Lara Croft.
Fuck my asshole.
Then the rest of the film, it's
He's Tomb Raider.
It's Indiana Jones as a stealth pilot for a Tomb Raider thing, where Indy, being too old
Stealth
to be
pilot. She's in the fucking
hero.
opening.
I mean, as in
It's
we say
it's not a stealth.
we
pilot.
say it's called Indiana Jones, but it's really a way to set up a Tomb Raider franchise with Indy rather than being the hero. It's kind of like Batman Beyond, where Lara is Terry McGinnis and Indy's Bruce.
Right.
Where he's now the former hero, but he's too old, so he's kind of the man in the chair kind of role, where he's running her ops. It's them after... There was this thing where the parliamentary mace from Queen Victoria's time just sort of disappeared in the late 1800s, so it's them searching for that, because Lara's all like, oh, it's a British national treasure with a massive bounty on it, so being... a plummy English lass, I should be the one to get this. And then he's like...
Is that straight dialogue?
That's actual...
Being a plummy English lass, I think I should be the one to get it.
I feel better at my dialogue.
Yeah, and then it's followed up by...
Right, you should go and get it. You should go and get it. It's probably something you should go and get because you're British.
That's the film. That's the film.
The end. Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Give me some beats.
So,
give me some action beats.
Obviously, you get their sort of introduction. You get him going like, "Oh, fuck you. I'm Indiana Jones. I don't care if you save me that one time."
I want that line in the film. Fuck you. I'm Indiana Jones.
That's how we earn our 15
I
rating.
want a training montage set to "It Takes Two, baby."
Or Going Gets Tough.
No, but there would be a montage in the Croft Manor if you played the very old Tomb Raiders, like Tomb Raider 1 and 2, where you could like run outside Croft Manor and run along her weird obstacle course. You would get to see her training there. Probably when Indy shows up to recruit her, when he realises he is old as shit, because the villains would show up to intimidate him. He probably tries to go like,
Piss his adult.
no, I'm Indiana Jones, and then just gets shown like, oh shit, I am Indiana Jones, but I'm also like an 80-year-old man and need to quit.
Right.
So then he'd show up to go, hey, Lara, buddy, remember when you were like, I'll help you out? And I was like, fuck you, I'm Indiana Jones. Maybe you could help me out.
Turns out I'm old Indiana Jones.
Here's my dog, Indiana Bones.
Indiana Bones.
You son of a bitch.
He's a corgi.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
So they team up, they go out.
All three of them.
Yeah, all three of them, obviously.
Does Indiana Bones wear a little hat?
Of course he does.
How
A little fedora.
else would he be doing in the film, Ben?
Oh, I want to see this film now.
Jesus.
And the theme tune is I don't know if you're familiar with the dog Gabe, who does Bork covers of stuff.
I am not.
But
But
it'll be a Bork cover of the Indiana Jones. And it's like I'm just gonna try and YouTube that now to see if that's a real thing. But I imagine it would be.
anyway, Mike's dog fantasies aside, I want it to be a bit less typical indie, where it's mostly focused around like vaguely deserty areas.
Mate.
God damn it. Well, now I have to put it in the film.
Come on,
It would
Bones.
just
We
be when
gotta
the dog
go.
first runs into shot. That would play.
So yeah, that's a real thing.
So
It's such a weird film.
it would be a very European-based film. We get lots of lush, sort of, more castle-y and popping round the Riviera.
Yeah, I've decided that he's not a corgi, he's a Pomeranian, because it makes it funnier.
Because what it actually is, it's a stealth pilot for a Tomb Raider franchise that is a stealth pilot for an Indiana Bones franchise.
Nailed it.
Director Tyndall says you missed the point of Indiana Jones 5 and the Croft invasion.
People, you see, what I was really thinking that people would pay attention to, I was trying to delve deep into certain
Is
things.
the character arc of Bones. Indiana Bones.
For some reason, everyone seemed to overlook the fact that I put a dog in with his own fucking theme song.
Who can talk, but only Indiana Jones understands him.
No, fuck your dog.
He really was, in my opinion, the goodest boy, and deserved all the boops and snoots.
So the villains are a resurgence
Cats.
of the
They're
parliamentarians.
cats. Nazi cats.
No,
Let him finish,
they're
man.
fucking
Sorry.
new neo-parliamentarians who want to start a new
Neopets?
civil war to remove
How
the
do you-
monarchy, but essentially,
How do you sell that?
how do they sell a new civil war?
How are you going to sell neo-parliamentarians to an audience of like 12 and 14-year-olds?
Because they're crazy, and they're not gonna I'm not gonna go deep into their politics. They're basically if you're an adult watching it, you'll go, "Oh, I see what you're doing," and if you're a kid, you're just gonna be like, "They're bad guys who want to kill the Queen."
I mean, if
Okay,
you're a
cool,
kid,
cool.
you're going to go, that dog's fucking cool.
Yeah, you can be
Nothing
like, the
else
dog
matters."
doesn't like them, so they must be bad. So you're gonna get
It kind of reminds me of Agent Cody Banks 2, Mission to London.
so you get lots of perfect
But
fights
better.
around
I
London.
like the completely earnest way that you said that.
I want a gunfight in a Cornish seaside village. I want,
amazing.
but in that one's got to be. I want to sort of do in this a kind of. Have you seen John Wick 2?
Yeah.
You know the scene where him and Common are walking through the.
That's got a dog in it as well.
It does, and that one survived. But you know where they're walking through the train station and stuff, and they're having this silenced gunfight when neither of them are trying to get spotted that they're having this gunfight.
God, that made my dick hard.
It was great.
Yeah, that was good.
But I want to do that, but rather than just doing it straight up, because this is already a bit of a silly film, it's kind of like if Hot Fuzz tried
With
to
whips.
do that. No, that's how it ends. That's how the fight ends. It's Lara trying to keep Indy safe, and she's having this gunfight, and it's kind of absurd. It's got a bit of comedy, sort of Hot Fuzz style comedy going on it with all the sort of locals around them. Maybe Lara has to stop at one point and is talking to some old person while occasionally shooting around them. But it ends.
And then Big Jim gets his whip out.
It ends when Indy
And they have a whip
decides,
off.
Indy, look, love, this whole silence gunfight isn't going anywhere. I'm Indiana Jones. And he tries to whip a dude. And just everyone goes, what the fuck is this?
What if this little village, everyone here is one of these neo-parliamentarians? It's like a whole town of these people, and they're sort of pretending they're just like everyone else, but it sort of reveals a divide in the country, that there are whole communities of these neo-parliamentarians who want this civil war. Sort of give it some
About
some
53% of them.
Yeah, we really
About 50,
underestimated the
52.5%.
economic anxiety of them.
especially in Cornwall. But they're a bit worried now they won't get the same kind of benefits that they
They're
get
not
once they do have the civil war.
neo-parliamentarians. They're Cornish separatists.
Cornish separatists.
I believe that's the plot of Bad Education, starring Jack
Oh
White.
God. Okay, we're sticking
So,
to neo-parliamentarians
possibly not.
then.
Yeah.
But yes, you get a sort of funny one there. You'd have to do some sort of grand London-based action scene, probably through the Houses of Parliament to really
Oh my God.
bring it home.
Yes. and Buckingham Palace.
Yes. Just like in Johnny English, yeah.
Yeah, but lads, what's in Buckingham Palace that helps the central point of this film?
Queen.
Flag.
Corgis. Oh my god.
Love interest.
It's like in the middle
where
of the
Bones
fight.
come
Love
into it.
interest
Yeah.
for Indiana
Indy's
Bones.
knocked down, Lara's wounded, and the Queen just swings open the doors with her corgis.
And that's when, and then we hear that theme again.
Yeah, because Bones has gone to get help, and the help he's
Yeah.
gone to get are the Queen's corgis.
Yes.
Oh, so the Queen just pitches up. What the fuck's going on here?
It's a 12A, and that's the one fuck.
That's the
that
one
was
fuck we
allowed.
get. Wait, I thought the one fuck was I'm fucking Indiana Jones.
No, that's your one during the sex scene because you don't know the right dialogue.
Just literally, when she's having sex with him, I'm fucking Indiana Jones. sorry, dude. So the corgis rescue them.
Yeah,
Apparently that's now.
yeah,
So
perfect.
that wasn't even your pitch, was it? That was Sorry.
I had a perfectly good Indiana Jones meets Tomb Raider pitch, and then Mike was just so fucking desperate to have Indiana Bones happen.
The fact is, I didn't name Indiana Bones Indiana Bones. I just thought it was going to be a dog, and I was like, that'd be a cute little like aside. And then someone had the fucking temerity
Callum.
to name him Indiana fucking Bones, and
And give him a
film.
fedora as well.
Done.
And even looks like Indiana Jones a bit. His little face is all stumped.
You should also
Rough and
grab-
Oh well,
Surely.
then it's not all right. Then it's not okay. Well, if that's the case, then it's not a Pomeranian, because as adorable as that would be, it's like an English bulldog.
Oh, I thought like a Scottish Terrier.
Oh yeah.
The little hairy face and little grumpy.
Okay, cool. Well, it's quite clear that Callum's won. So, I mean,
So how does that end then? Give us all what happens.
that's
next?
how it
I
ends.
don't even know anymore. I don't
the
feel good
corgis.
about this victory.
Then the Queen. Then we. All right. Okay. I'll finish it because you're incapable. So the corgis rip apart the bad guys and everything's cool. And maybe they get a defibrillator on Lara or whatever, and she's like revived, and it's all fine. Cut to what is essentially the medal scene from Return of the Jedi, but it's the Queen knighting both Indiana Jones, despite the fact he doesn't live in this country, and Lara Croft. And obviously Indiana Bones.
Obviously.
With a little tiny sword. It's like a really little one.
Yeah. She'll get like a letter opener of Excalibur, because she's the Queen of England, and obviously our American listeners may not know this, but the royal family still operates on the premise of if you pull the sword out of the stone, you become the monarchy, and Liz did that historically 60 years ago. So she's got Excalibur, but also letter opener Excaliburs. Like, she nicked one from the gift shop. Like, she could have paid for it, but she didn't for the thrill of it. So she's got like a tiny Excalibur. She does Indiana Bones, and then
Gross.
we don't be crass. Come on, we're having a real genuine moment here. And she knights them, and then the corgis are all like, fucking, oh wow, amazing. And then like they go off, and then like Indy and Lara looking at them like it's sort of like they're pseudo kids, and they're like, oh fucking, yeah, that's nice. And then she's like, where to next? And Indy turns to her and goes, I guess we're probably gonna go into the Raiders of the Lost Ark and maybe some other stuff going on. And then there's like a big musical swell, like he's just revealed something amazing, and her face lights up, and then cut to like fade out.
No.
Credits.
And you cut to a phone call.
Oh,
And another
okay.
fucking American is on, and Laura picks up, and there's another fucking American on
Yeah.
the end of the line. She's
Okay.
like, who's this? He goes, hey, it's Nathan Drake.
Oh shit!
It's time for a team up. And then it's John Cena's entrance music as the outro.
No, I didn't. What? What? You've ruined it. Ben wins. Changed my mind. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, clearly the best pitch was Indiana Bones. The search for Crofts.
Reason?
Search for a reason to carry on. Yep. Cool. That solves that then. I've got to bring up the list because I literally don't know where the fuck it is. I think it's in my notepad somewhere. But I don't know. Let me just hang on. We'll keep this because it's important. Okay, we have sourced the list. There was a bit of confusion. Didn't quite know what was going on. I lost the list, then I found it again. Then I found God, and now I'm going to roll a dice. Lovely stuff. Oh my God! I rolled a 1. What is it?
That
Callum?
is Batman Beyond. Any format.
Oh,
Film, new
shit.
TV show. Make it the next Arkham game, please.
Well, we know that Ben's a massive Batman fan, but I'm going to have to ask him to sit this one out
Okay.
because I want in.
No, I've never actually seen Batman Beyond before.
Oh.
I don't know anything.
I know I was massively joking. Yeah, no, I'm in.
I love Batman. You son
Well,
of a
you
bitch.
haven't seen Batman Beyond.
Yeah, I
so-
also have a problem that I don't.
Fake
Well,
I
gamer
don't think
girl.
we can continue the series because Ben actually needs to go kill himself now.
Whoa!
Just
Fairly sure it's the worst Batman series ever made. So
Wow!
I feel
Shut
fairly good
your
about it.
fucking mouth!
I feel fairly good about
have
this.
you seen Brave and the
Oh,
Bold?
I'm Terry McGinnis.
Oi! Watch your
Brave and
fucking
Bold
mouth about Brave and
is
the Bold. Brave and the Bold is
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
It's no Beyond, is all I'm saying.
You're no beyond, mate.
Well, that's all. Look, none of us can be Beyond, okay?
Anyway, that's going to wrap things up for today. Callum wins. Well done. Best film ever that we've ever done. We all got a bit silly tonight. We'll try and make it more serious next time. But yeah, mostly my fault. I shouldn't do 2 podcasts back to back. I get a little bit funny in the brain. So yeah, he's been Callum Tyndall.
What?
He's been Ben Fee.
What?
And I've been Mike Orvis.
Do it, Mike.
No, I thought you were going to do it for me.
You
Like
have
that
to do it
was
for
the gag.
yourself, otherwise it's not
We
sad.
can't do gags. We've been Pitch Please. Keep watching movies. See you later. Oh, keep watching movies. That's a nice end, isn't it? That was
That's
good,
lovely.
wasn't
It's
it?
really nice. Yeah,
Ooh,
it's good. It's
ooh.
nice.
Fresh. Hello, it's your favourite pitch, your pitch of the crop. That doesn't make sense. Why did I say it? Never mind. It's Mike Orvis here from Pitch Please. If you liked this podcast, please rate and review us on iTunes. We haven't asked you to do that before, but it would be super, super helpful if you could. More so than you know. Leave us a little review, at least rate us 5 stars, or however many stars you feel it was, as long as it isn't 1, because that would make me do a cry. And not the kind of sexy cry I do in my pants when I think about, Patrick Stewart. If you want to get in touch with us and think that you could have done a better pitch than Indiana Bones, which you'd be lying, but fine, then get in touch with content@geek-pride.co.uk. Make sure you mark it as Pitch Please so we can sift through all the Patreons that Geary... I did this last week, didn't I? Same joke. Getting stale. Have a good week. See you later.